This is very simply just identifying where the last move started. Most people would term this as identifying support and resistance. But not all support and resistance is equal. Sometimes it just acts as a stall point, a brief hesitation, and obviously it's relative to the time frame that you're looking at as well. So one of the things that we can do is try to identify where there was a significant change in the balance of power. And that's very easily done. Just look back across the charts. Where did the big move start? We're looking for nice, thrusting, large movements to identify where, again, these big moves were. By identifying these locations, we take the bar at the high of the move and the high-low range of the bar at the top of the move, and just take that location across. Now, that gives me a zone of interest. So when or if price gets back to this location, there's a good chance that we'll see basically history to repeat itself. Looking at this as a level or a location of interest to see the next movements to develop. So again, the lower the move, same routine, the high-low range of the bar at the lower the move, take that location across the chart. And what we can see in this instance is that price is very simple, just went straight through it. So with that location identified, price running through it, we can now ignore that location. So looking across the charts, we can see that price stopped at this location just here. The next move started at that same location, and we can see ultimately the next move down. So taking that high-low range of the location is going to give me this as my lower location of interest for the moment. Trying to assess the chart right now then, just so we can get some real-time analysis. Again, just identifying where the last big move starts. So where was the top of the move? Where was the bottom of the big moves that developed? So most recently, we've got price reacting at this location. Now we've also got some smaller locations of interest. So let's just zoom in slightly. So again, identify the thrust move. Now we've got a nice thrust move down here, and obviously preceding that we've got a nice thrust move up there. So we've got two levels of interest that are going to be overlapping each other. So this up move here, nice thrust move. Obviously the balance of power is changing at this location. Take the high-low range of the bar at the start of that move and take that location across. Similarly, we can take the end of that move. So as price rallies up, take the high-low range of the bar at the end of that move. When or if price gets back to that location, again, this could be a very interesting location of interest. Is everyone happy with the logic behind this? Again, it's a very simple concept. Updating the chart with new information, obviously. But right now, looking back across the chart, where was the last level of interest? Higher. So should price continue higher today or obviously next week as well on Friday, where was the last location of interest? Looking back across the chart, we can see that this, just where the cursor is now, this is the last big down move at that location. So should price come into this zone that I'm just drawing on now, that's where the move started. So should price get to that location, there is a good chance that the balance of power will shift dramatically again at this location. Does all this make sense, folks? Is everyone happy? Before we move on, is there any questions on this point? In short, identify where there was a significant change in the balance of power. Using that starting and ending location as a location of interest to identify where the next move might develop. So when or if price gets back to these locations, then we can deploy a strategy. We're going to go through an example of a strategy now, or momentarily, but I just want to make sure that everyone's happy with this concept of identifying locations of interest before we move on. So is there any questions at this point on identifying more significant support and resistance locations? Essentially, it's where the balance of power has shifted dramatically.